Go back at it again, I'll show you what I'm up to. So I've got a selection of trowels here for skimming trowels and stuff for sheetrock work. This is for the corners. That's a 10, 6, that's a 24, 16. That's for the sheetrock mud. This is to make sure the wall is nice and flush when we get to that point for sanding. So I've got a angle drill, Milwaukee, with a homemade mixture bit that I did many years back, and sheetrock mud. So this is the consistency it comes in before you mix it, but it's too thick to just work with right out of the box. So add you a little water to it, not a whole bunch. Start out with that much, and I'll mix it with the drill. I'm going to give you a quick look at how everything looks before I start my process here. So I had a subscriber ask if that was mold. It's actually a green paint from the 60s on the original sheetrock that's behind the paneling. So these are old acoustic tiles from the 70s, and they were stapled to the sheetrock. So I ended up having to go down and put a screw on each corner to make sure they're not going to sag anymore. Here's where I took the Sawzall and cut out a section of the tile because it was buckled right there, hanging down about, I don't know, 2 inches almost. I'll float all that out. So I'm going to start right here where these screws are. These are level points like I talked about on that other video if you caught it. And I'll skim a section of sheetrock mud so it's level all the way across there and let it dry. And then I can use a straight edge out to the point of the ceiling that's the low point, and I'll use that as my guide, that sheetrock mud along that edge, to smooth all that out. It'll take a few passes to get it, but that's the way I do it. It works good. Yeah, got quite a bit of skimming to do to make all this look good. That's about the consistency I like of it. You can work it pretty easy, but it's not so runny that it's hard to work with. Well, I think 5 hours with my arm above my head's enough for one day. I'll show you what I got done. So I started in this corner, worked my way all the way down to there. That part of the ceiling is not too bad, so I'm not going to do a heavy float on it like that. The rest of it from that same corner all the way down, around, over to that other corner, and floated it out just a little bit. So I'll let that dry out. It'll probably take a week to dry out completely. And then I'll float back over it again, and that'll establish my nice flat point that I need to meet. And then I'll glaze, you know, the rest of that ceiling to that. You can see how far it's hanging down. These are air pockets where you see that. I'll just let it dry, then I'll chip it out and fill it in. Not a big deal. And I filled in this spot for the most part that I had mud to use up. That's going to get glazed over. It's still going to have about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch of glaze over that. Anywhere where I'm going to float all those paneling so you don't see these beads in it anymore, but anywhere where there was a joint where the two pieces meet, I got to put the tape on there, seam tape. Same on the corners. Well, I guess that's it for this one. See y'all next one.